Hold on tight, because this is a Blaugrana explosion that will shake the football world. The Camp Nou is erupting, Barcelona is burning with emotion, and in Madrid, they are already looking for handkerchiefs to dry their tears. Nico Williams, the diamond of Bilbao, the dagger that will tear through defenses like paper, is officially part of FC Barcelona. Deco has confirmed it, and Madridismo is already in panic mode, calling on the bar to save them. This is not a rumor, nor a fantasy of Roncero, it's pure reality. Let's start with the news that is blowing up the Cule universe. And I'll tell you everything here with all the details, because this is Barca without the bar, where Madridismo has no valid filters. If you're one of those who gets excited with every pass from Lamine and badly, if your blood boils when Barca gives penalties to Madrid, and if you dream of seeing Barca humiliate the Bernabeu, subscribe now, Cule, because this channel is your Blaugrana temple. Click the button and join the Cule revolution. Let's get straight to the point, because this is juicier than Florentino's excuses when he loses a classic. Nico Williams, the winger who has all of Europe dreaming after the Euro, is Barca's. Yes, gentlemen, the 22-year-old, the one who dances with defenses as if he were in an Ibiza nightclub, the one who has more dribbles than Tomás Roncero's ego in full discussion, is ours. Deco, that Portuguese with more vision than a Cule hawk, has closed the deal with a mastery that would ridicule any Real Madrid executive. And they tried, in Valdebias, they dreamed of Nico, but the guy gave them a backhand bigger than the one Messi gave Ramos in the 2-6. Nico chose Barca because he knows that real football is played in Blaugrana. The operation was not a stroll down Los Ramblas. Let's be clear, Athletic Club, those lions who roar louder than the Bernabeu crowd when they are awarded a penalty in their favor, did not want to let go of their jewel. Nico's clause was 58 million, which with the IPC and taxes rose to about 62 kilos, and Barca dropped them like ordering a coffee at La Boqueria. Well, not that easy, because Joan Laporta had to pull out the calculator, pull some levers, and even sell a couple of shirts signed by LAMINE YAMAL to balance the books. But, Cules, when it comes to recruiting a crack like Nico, Barca always finds a way, unlike others who spend millions on players who end up getting injured more than the Bernabeu grass after a concert. Let's talk about Nico, because this guy is a real machine, fast as lightning, with a dribble that would make Courtois' head spin in a Champions League final, and an audacity that would make any Madridista defender blush. It's as if he has the ball glued to his foot with Cule Loctite. His season with Athletic has been a spectacle. 8 goals and 19 assists in La Liga. Numbers that would make any Madridista who still thinks Vinicius is the best winger in the world turn pale. Nico doesn't just dribble, he has that grit, that passion, that hunger for victory that fits like a glove into Barca's DNA. And on top of that, he is a close friend of LAMINE YAMAL. Imagine these two on the wings, destroying defenses as if they were the arguments of Edu Aguirre in a debate. The Camp Nou is going to be a volcano erupting, but wait, here's the best part. Do you know who is trembling right now? Madridismo. Yes, those who spend their days shouting, Hala Madrid, while praying for the referee to give them another penalty. In the stands of Madrid, they are already in full crisis mode. Tomás Roncero, with his ponytail and screams, must be writing an article titled, Nico Williams is not that good, while taking a sedative, and Edu Aguirre, the eternal squire of Cristiano, is surely crying in a corner because Nico sent them packing. The poor things, they dreamed of seeing him in white, but Nico said, no thanks, I want to play in a team that doesn't live off referee favors. A punch in the mouth. Madridistas. And that's not all, Cules. This recruitment is a fist on the table. While Madrid spends fortunes on players who spend more time in the infirmary than playing, Barca is building a future project with young cracks like Nico, LAMINE, GAVI, PEDRI. It's a golden generation, gentlemen. Hansi Flick, the coach who has given hope back to Barcelonismo, is already rubbing his hands. Because Nico doesn't just bring talent, he brings imbalance, magic, and above all, that Cule touch that makes the Camp Nou stand up. And all this while Madrid continues to cry because Mbappé is not the savior they hoped for. Oh, what a pity, Madridistas. Keep watching Cristiano's highlights on YouTube. If you're a Cule to the core, if you get emotional with every Barca goal and laugh at every Madrid stumble, this is for you. Subscribe now, leave a like, and share this video with all those who know that Blaugrana is the only color that matters. Let's go, because the Camp Nou awaits us, Cules. Let's get tactical, because Nico Williams is not just a recruitment, he's a revolution on the field. Hansi Flick, that German who has more vision than a Cule eagle hunting titles, has found in Nico the perfect weapon for his high-pressure and vertiginous attack football. Flick's Barça is a team that asphyxiates the opponent, combines like an orchestra, and attacks with the precision of an elite shooter. And Nico, with his diabolical speed and dribbling, is like putting a rocket engine on a machine that was already a masterpiece. Imagine the chaos he will cause in rival defenses. While Madrid continues to depend on Vinicius' accelerations and Ancelotti's tears when they are not awarded a penalty, we have a lethal weapon on each wing. Nico is not just a winger who runs and dribbles. He is a complete player, one of those who understands the game as if he had a tactical board in his head. At Athletic, we saw him start from the left wing, cut inside, and send crosses that were real guided missiles. Lewandowski must already be dreaming of those balls. But he can also play on the right, making diagonals that would ridicule any defender, even those who think they are untouchable like Rudiger. Yes, Rudiger, the one who makes macho gestures but stands still when LAMINE does a little nutmeg on him. With Nico and LAMINE on the wings, Barça will have an attack so dynamic that even the most optimistic Madridistas will start praying for a draw in the next Classic. And that's not all. Nico brings depth, something Barça needed like water in the desert. Last season, we struggled in some matches because we lacked that player who breaks lines, dribbles fearlessly, and gives the team an extra verticality. Rafinha is a warrior, but sometimes he lacks that spark. Ferran Torres works like no one else, but he doesn't have the imbalance of a crack. But Nico is something else. It's as if we recruited a rocket with football cleats. And the best part is that he fits perfectly into Flick's 4-3-3. Imagine Pedri filtering passes like a Renaissance painter, Gavi stealing balls like a cool pitbull, and Nico running into space as if he were being chased by all of Madridismo in disarray. It's football poetry, gentlemen. And let's not forget the psychological impact. Nico arrives at Barça with hunger, the desire to show he is the best. And that, in a team full of youngsters like LAMINE, Gavi, and PEDRI, is dynamite. These kids don't just play, they have fun, challenge each other, motivate each other. It's as if La Masia created an army of cool superheroes. Meanwhile, at Madrid, they have veterans who are no longer up to par and youngsters who get lost in Florentino's media circus. Bap, well, when he's not injured or complaining, maybe he'll score a goal or two, but Nico and LAMINE together will be the nightmare of any defense. And don't tell me Bellingham is better than him, because he only shines when the referee gives him a penalty in the 95th minute. But let's delve a bit more into the tactical scheme. Flick, who has already shown at Bayern that he knows how to get the best out of young players, will use Nico like a dagger on the wings. His ability to dribble one-on-one, combined with Pedri's game vision and Gavi's grit, will make Barça an unpredictable team. And that's not all. Nico also contributes defensively. Yes, he doesn't just attack, he presses as if his life depends on it. At Athletic, we saw him give his all, running behind rivals, and that, in Flick's system, is pure gold. Imagine Nico and LAMINE pressing high, stealing balls, and launching counterattacks that will leave rival defenders asking for the time. Meanwhile, at Madrid, they will continue to depend on a magic pass from Kroos or a helping hand from the referee. Now, let's have a bit of fun with Madridismo, because it's too funny. Imagine Florentino's face when he found out Nico had signed with Barça. Surely he called his referee friend for a consolation penalty. And in the Madridista forums, they are already saying things like, Nico isn't worth 62 million, or, Barça is ruined. Of course, because they are the geniuses of finance, the same ones who spent 100 million on Hazard to make him the king of the benches. The same ones who recruited Jovic and then gave him away because they didn't know what to do with him. Please, Madridistas, fewer lessons and more humility, because Barça is giving you a lesson in the market. And that's not all, this recruitment is also a message to the referees, to those who always seem to owe Madrid a debt. With Nico on the team, Barça will be so superior that it won't even need a friendly whistle to win. Let the referees prepare, because the Camp Nou will be a party and Barça won't give any respite. And meanwhile, at Madrid, they will continue to cry because the grass was bad or the referee didn't help them. Poor things, let them buy a white handkerchief and wave it, because that's the only thing they know how to do well. Let's talk now about the long-term impact, because Nico Williams is not just a recruitment, he is the symbol of the renaissance of FC Barcelona. After difficult years with injuries, economic problems, and constant attacks from Madridismo, Barça is back and it's doing so with a force that will shake the football world. Nico is the cherry on top of a team that already has luxury ingredients. LAMINE, YAMAL, GAVI, PEDRI, Cubarsí. It's a golden generation, Queules. While Madrid lives off memories of Cristiano and referee favors, we are building a team that will dominate Europe for the next decade. Nico arrives at the perfect moment. Hansi Flick has brought a winning mentality, an intensity that recalls the best moments of Barça. And Nico, with his youth, talent, and hunger, is the ideal player for this new cycle. It's not just that he dribbles, that he scores goals, it's that Nico has that something special, that charisma, that spark that connects with the supporters. At the Camp Nou, they are already waiting for him as if he were a Blaugrana messiah. And it's no wonder, because this guy has everything it takes to become a legend. And to think that Madrid wanted him. Haha, how delusional. Nico knew that the Bernabeu is not a place for cracks, that there, only those who know how to throw themselves to the ground to ask for penalties shine. Moreover, this recruitment is a lesson in management. While Madrid spends fortunes on players who don't fit, Barça makes surgical moves. Deco has shown that he has more of an eye than a lynx, and Laporta, with his financial magic, has silenced the mouths. That Barça is in crisis, please. The only crisis is the one they have at Madrid every time Barça wins a classic or steals a recruitment from them. Nico is proof that Barça doesn't just compete, it leads. And this is just the beginning, Queules, because Deco won't stop there. There are more thunderbolts on the way, and the Camp Nou will be the epicenter of the football world. I can't help but laugh thinking about how the Madridista pundits are now. Sure, Cristobal Soria, the only one who comes out of this circus, is celebrating with a paella while Roncero and Edu Aguirre argue over who cries the loudest. The poor things, they thought Nico would end up in white, but the guy has taste, class, and knows that Barça is the only place where a crack like him can truly shine. And let them forget about stealing him from us, because here, there is no room for traitors like Figo. And speaking of Figo, this recruitment is also a message to the traitors. Nico is a loyal player, a guy who values the project, the supporters, the badge, not like others who sold themselves to Madrid for a handful of bills. Nico chose Barça because he knows that here, he won't just win titles, he will make history. And with Lamine Yamal by his side, these two will form a duo that will be remembered for generations. Imagine the headlines after the next classic, Nico and Lamine humiliating Madrid. And Roncero writing that it was because of the grass. Of course. But let's talk about the supporters, because this recruitment is also for you, Queules. Nico won't just shine on the field, he will connect with the Blaugrana heart. This guy has that energy, that passion, that joy that reminds us of the best moments of Barça. He's one of those who leave their skin on the field, who celebrate goals as if they were one more supporter. And that, in a team full of youngsters who feel the badge like us, is pure gold. Imagine the Camp Nou chanting Nico's name while he does a little nutmeg to Carvajal and puts in a ball for Lewandowski to strike. That's Barça, gentlemen. That's football. And we can't forget the impact on the rivals. This recruitment is a warning to the competition. At Madrid, of course, they can already prepare the excuses for when Nico does a sombrero to them in the next classic. But also to the European teams that thought Barça was finished. Finished. Haha. With Nico and Lamine on the wings, PEDRI and GAVI in the midfield, and Lewandowski up front, Barça is more dangerous than ever. And if we also manage to register all the players without any issues, let the world prepare, because this team is going to be fearsome. Now, let's talk about something that goes beyond the pitch, because Nico Williams is not just a player, he is a Queules in the making, a guy who will wear the Barça badge engraved in his heart. This recruitment doesn't just strengthen the team, it connects with the essence of Barcelonismo. Nico is one of those players who feels the jersey, who understands what it means to play for 90,000 souls at the Camp Nou. He is one of those who celebrates goals with the fans, who throws himself to the ground to steal a ball, who makes the crowd stand up with an impossible dribble. And that, Queules, is what makes us vibrate. While Madrid recruits players who only think about their Instagram, we have Nico, who lives football as if he were one more fan. And it's not just a feeling. Nico has already shown at Athletic that he is a player of the people, one of those who identifies with the fans. In Bilbao, he was an idol, not just for his talent, but for his humility, his closeness. And now in Barcelona, it will be the same. Imagine Nico coming out at the Camp Nou, with the stadium roaring, chanting his name as if he were Ronaldinho at his peak. That's what awaits us, Kules, a player who won't just put on a show, but who will make every match a Blaugrana party. And meanwhile, at Madrid, they will continue to cry because Mbappe doesn't adapt or because Vinicius spends more time protesting than playing. Moreover, this recruitment is a nod to the Kule legacy. Nico embodies the values of Barça: talent, effort, humility. It's as if we had found the heir to players like Pedro, or even Iniesta in his early days. I'm not saying he is the same, but he has that magic, that ability to do impossible things with a smile. And that, Kules, is what makes us different. While Madrid recruits players to show off, we recruit players who feel the badge. Nico won't just play, he will live Barça, and that cannot be bought with money. I can't help but mention the impact this will have on the classics. Imagine the next Barça Madrid at the Camp Nou, Nico on one side, LAMINE on the other, PEDRI filtering passes, GAVI biting in the midfield, and LEWANDOWSKI waiting to strike. It's not a team, it's a steamroller. And on the Madrid bench, Ancelotti will be Googling how to stop Nico Williams, and Florentino will be calling the referee for a consolation penalty. What a desire to see that match, Kules. And what a desire to see Roncero's face when Nico does a sombrero to Carvajal and puts the 3-0 on the scoreboard. Take that, Madridismo. Now, Kules, let's dream big, because Nico Williams is not just a reinforcement for La Liga, he is a statement of intent for Europe. With this recruitment, Barça is not just telling Madrid that it's coming for them, it's shouting to the whole world that it's ready to reconquer the champions. Flick, who already knows what it's like to win the big-eared cup, now has a lethal weapon in Nico. This guy, with his speed, his dribbling, and his audacity, is the kind of player who can decide a European tie. Imagine Nico facing the defenders of Bayern, City, or PSG. It will be a spectacle worthy of the Camp Nou. Let's summarize, Kules, because this news is so big that it deserves a recap so as not to miss anything. Nico Williams, the winger who made all of Spain dream during the Euro, is part of FC Barcelona. Deco has closed a recruitment that not only strengthens the team but sends a message to the world. Barça is back and it's coming with everything. For €62 million, we have brought in a player who combines speed, dribbling, game vision, and grit. A crack who, at just 22 years old, is already a star and has the potential to be the best winger in the world. And we have him, us, Kules, not Madrid. On the field, Nico is going to be a dagger. In Hansi Flick's scheme, he fits like a glove. His runs on the wings, his precise crosses, and his ability to break defenses will make the Camp Nou stand up in every match. Alongside LAMINE YAMAL, he will form a duo that will be the nightmare of any rival. Imagine these two running, dribbling, combining. It's as if we had recruited two rockets with the Barça badge tattooed on their hearts. And with players like PEDRI, GAVI, and LEWANDOWSKI, this team has everything to win titles. Off the field, this recruitment is a blow to Madridismo. While they dreamed of Nico, the guy slammed the door in their faces and chose Barça. In the stands of Madrid, they are already looking for excuses, saying he's not that good or that Madrid didn't need him. Of course, because they have Vinicius, who only shines when the referee is on his side. But Nico is different. Nico is pure football, passion, Blaugrana. And his arrival is proof that Barça, despite the difficulties, knows how to move in the market better than anyone. Moreover, this recruitment is a message to Europe. Clubs like Arsenal, Bayern, or Chelsea were left wanting, because Nico wanted Barça. And not just for the badge, but for the project, the fans, the city. Barcelona is more than a club, and Nico knows it. With Deco at the helm and Laporta pulling the strings, Barça is building a golden generation that will shake the football world. And all this while Madrid continues to live off memories of Cristiano and referee favors. In the end, Kules, this is just the beginning. Nico Williams is the first thunderbolt of a summer that promises to be epic. Deco is already working on other reinforcements and Laporta, with that smile of someone who has an ace up his sleeve, is ready to continue giving backhands to Madridismo. Because that's Barça, gentlemen, a club that doesn't give up, that fights, that dreams. And with Nico on the team, the dream of the champions is closer than ever. So, Kules, get your throats ready, because the Camp Nou is going to roar like never before. Nico Williams is already Blaugrana and the football world trembles. Enjoy, dream, win. And if you are an unconditional Kule, if you bleed Blaugrana, if you laugh every time Madrid stumbles, subscribe now. This is your channel, your passion, your Barça. Visca el Barça and Visca Catalunya. Now, I want to know what you think, Cules. Do you believe Nico Williams will silence the mouths at the Bernabeu? Will the Nico-LAMINE duo be the nightmare of rival defenses? And what excuse will Roncero find when Barça wins the next Classic? Or do you believe Edu Aguirre is already preparing a video saying Madrid didn't want Nico? Leave your comments, because it's getting hot.